All right, everybody, welcome out to another episode of Windshield Time at Mountainland Supply. I'm Joey. We are down one today. Brandon is not feeling well, so he had to stay home today and try and nurse himself back to some semblance of health. So I'm rolling with Shorts, my man, today. And we stole his microphone, so he doesn't even get to talk to you today, which is a good thing. And we are joined today by Cody Kemp. What's your middle name?
Killian.
Whoa! All right.
Just like the Irish red beer.
So, Killian, I had a girl when I was in kindergarten. Her last name was Killian.
Yeah.
Tiffany Killian. And I had the biggest crush on her.
Oh.
She had beautiful blonde hair that was like naturally curly.
Yeah.
And back then, I mean, bangs were a big deal, right?
Right.
So she had like big old blonde bangs sticking out the front, you know. It was definitely Utah County hair, but it was, yeah, she was something to behold. She was a Killian.
Funny. Yeah, you got to be careful when you say Killian out in the Uinta Basin.
Oh, yeah? There are a bunch of them out there?
There's a bunch of them out there, and there's good and bad, apparently, is what I'm told.
Any name that's been around for any amount of time, there's good and bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Cody is our sales manager on the eastern side of Idaho for waterworks, turf irrigation, and plumbing, right?
Correct.
Did I get all three?
Yeah.
Okay.
All three.
All right. So you have to wear many hats.
Yeah.
How's that?
It's great. I love it. There's a lot of things I've learned from it. I knew absolutely nothing about plumbing.
Yeah.
When I first started with Mountainland, and so that's been a huge. It's been a lot of fun to learn that and learn from the best.
Yeah.
We've got some great plumbing salesmen, great plumbing managers.
Yeah.
And so that's been a lot of fun.
So why don't we start with a little bit of your background? You know, what got you started in the industry?
Oh, it's been a lifelong deal. My family actually owned a little pipe supply business.
Really?
It was called the Pipe Connection.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So this goes way back. My grandpa, my uncle, a few people that are still in the industry.
Huh.
They used to work with my family. And they all kind of split ways. Gary Golightly, the owner of Sprinkler Supply, was one of them.
Really?
Yeah. And so this was back in the 80s. And so I remember as a small kid, I was actually building the shelves with my dad.
Yeah.
And all the boxes to hold all the PVC fittings. And so this goes way back.
So this was in Salt Lake Valley?
Yep. Fort Union Boulevard.
Okay.
That was our first one.
Nice.
And then they added one in St. George. Once everyone kind of split ways, they ended up selling it.
Did they?
And
who'd they sell to?
Century Rain-Aid.
Oh, okay.
If you remember that.
Yeah,
name.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Century Rain-Aid, I think, got bought out by Site One.
Site
John
One.
Deere Landscapes.
Yeah, John Deere, then Site One. Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So it goes way back in the family. And then after that, high school, Ron Hatt.
Yeah.
If you know Ron.
Oh, yeah.
Ron used to work with my family.
Oh, really?
And the Pipe
Before Rep
Connection.
Masters.
Before Rep Masters.
Nice.
This is way back.
Yeah, way back.
And so he worked with my family. And in high school, he called me up and said, "Hey, we need a delivery driver."
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
That sounds
I'd
familiar.
leave high school. I think I made like $4 or $5 an hour.
Yeah,
And
sounds right.
Drove all the way across the Salt Lake Valley to go to work for $4 or $5 an hour.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
You
But I
were-
loved
You
it.
were making it.
Yep. So
It's funny how many. I mean, I got started the same way. It's funny how many people start as a driver.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
Then
Did
you
that
just-
all through high school.
they just can't get rid of you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Took a 2-year leave, and then came back. Got my first outside deal at 21.
Yeah.
Sold Rainbird Golf.
Did you really?
Yeah, for the state of Idaho. So
that's when you moved to Idaho?
for the state of Utah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So covered the whole entire state.
Yeah.
I had an uncle that was he worked for Arnold Palmer as a designer.
Yeah.
And so he kind of got me into
As a course designer.
irrigation, pumps.
Yeah.
And so he knew the guys at Horizon really well.
Yeah.
And at that time, they were the Rainbird Golf distributor.
Yeah.
So started selling golf course stuff at 21 years old. Did that for quite a while. Really enjoyed that industry.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. But
Good people.
Good people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Working with all the supers and
Yep.
yeah, lots of good
very
people.
tight association.
Yeah, I mean it's niche,
Yeah.
right? There's everybody knows everybody.
Yep.
Can't piss anybody off.
No, you can.
Not for very long. Anyway.
Right. Yeah.
That's funny.
So did that for 6-7 years. Worked with a lot of people that are actually with us here
Yeah.
at the Horizon Days. And so Jeff Passy was one of them.
I didn't know Jeff was with Horizon.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So that was a good time. After that, ended up going to work for a buddy of mine that had multi-businesses and kind of helped him get things going. That was during the 2008 thing. That didn't turn out too well.
Yeah. Like a lot of things in 2008.
Yeah, we got a little sideways on some things, and there was a sod farm, there was housing developments, there was all kinds of stuff, and so everything just quit.
Yeah.
So I was scrambling. Ended up taking a Larry Miller class on international business.
Really?
So I left the industry completely.
International business.
International business. I was going to be this.
You're going to be tycoon, dude.
I was going to be this huge international.
Yeah, you were.
I did it the wrong way, and I did it all by myself. So I got in the export business.
Okay.
And started exporting agriculture products.
Really?
So hay, fertilizer.
Like hay cubes?
Hay cubes, hay, mostly big bells.
Okay.
But we compressed them.
Okay.
And then shipped them overseas to dairy and racehorse facilities, places like that. And I was doing that independently on my own and got hosed again.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah, big time.
Oh, that
and
sucks.
So got kicked in 2008, got kicked in 2010. I'm like, what am I going to do? So went back to what I knew, which was irrigation and the pipe supply business, and really where all my connections and relationships were to begin with anyway.
Right.
And so
your network.
Wanted to do something completely different, so we packed the family up, moved to Idaho back in 2011. Been there ever since. Went to work for a
So did you move right to Ryrie at that point?
To Ryrie.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I am pronouncing that right, people. It is Ryrie.
Ririe. That's the way we spell Ryrie.
Shorts doesn't have a microphone, so he's hitting us with the sound effects today.
Small town, eastern Idaho.
It's awesome, though.
Yeah, it's a good place.
Yeah, good bar food.
We try not to tell too many people about Ryrie.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little
nugget. Have you been in the bar?
Yeah, you took me there once. For food.
It happens in Ryrie.
Eastern Idaho is awesome, though. Like it's got a cool vibe. Very, very rural Utah-ish feel.
Depends on where you're at.
Yeah. Stay away from Rexburg. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's a good place. It's growing.
My nephew almost got catfished in Rexburg.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That even happens up there.
Yeah.
Huh? Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess catfished is a strong term, but have you met my nephew? He worked at Sean. Yeah. So he I guess was going out on a date with some chick, and he found her on Mutual or some app or something. And she ended up being like 17.
Oh, really?
Yes. So
you're talking about tall Sean.
Oh yeah.
He's awesome.
So he's like, oh, I think he bailed out real quick as soon as he found out how old she was. But yeah, she was looking to get herself a whale out of that one.
That's what happens out there.
She's trying to get out of Rexburg, man, dude. At all costs, she's trying to get out of there. He says she's pretty cool though. I told him he's probably gonna end up marrying her.
Well, he's a stallion himself.
Oh, he is, dude. He's a stallion. I guarantee, like, there's going to be some cool story at some point about that. You know, she's going to have a friend that hooks up with him or something. I don't know. You just never know.
He does a great job.
He's a good dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. He and his brother have both worked for us.
Yeah.
at various times.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think Sean, he's back in Mesquite for the summer. Oh, in fact, he is. He's working for one of our excavating customers down there.
Oh, yeah.
So he's going to learn it in the field, and then when he goes back up to school, probably hop back on.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
it's a cool place for people to learn the industry and
for sure.
appreciate it a little
Suck
bit.
you in.
It really does, dude. I mean, that's I think Quinn first started saying it. It's the Hotel California. You check out, but you never leave.
Yeah,
That's
really
what the industry is. You know.
And it's a great industry. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good people in it. You know, between the customers and the suppliers, even those who don't work for Mountainland, you know, our peers in the industry, there's some really good people out there.
Absolutely.
You know, case in point, you came from one of our competitors.
Yeah.
In Idaho, so I mean, you just the people that work in this industry are second to none.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
And I've learned you don't talk bad about anyone in the industry.
You can't, man.
No,
you can't. It'll come back and bite you.
It comes back and everyone knows everybody.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, and then some.
Yeah.
So you started with when you went up there. Is that when you started with Fowler?
With Fowler, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So kind of greenfield with Fowler up there.
Yeah.
They just United Pipe was going out.
Yep.
Fowler took all the employees, all the buildings, all the inventory. And so we were starting from scratch. There were some people that came over from United Pipe. And so that was a lot of fun. Did that for 10, 12 years.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And called on landscape, excavation contractors, city, municipality, a little bit of everything.
And then this company named Mountainland Supply decided to come knock on your door.
Best move I've ever made.
Honestly, we've enjoyed having you on board. I tell people this all the time, and you've probably heard me say it, but you're one of my favorite humans. You know,
likewise.
You're a good dude. You're fun to have around.
Yeah, it was interesting. Bryce Wheeler, our branch manager in Idaho Falls, was a Mountainland guy.
Yeah. Yeah, worked in Richfield before he moved to Idaho.
Yep. He moved up to Idaho and worked with me at H.D. Fowler.
Yeah.
And so the whole time we were up there, Bryce is like, if Mountainland ever comes into town, we should go work for him.
Work for him.
Yeah. Him and I split way. Well, he split.
Yeah, he went to the power plant, right?
Yeah, the site.
Yep.
Idaho Nuclear Lab.
Yep.
And it was like fall of 2020, I think.
Yeah.
He called me and he said, hey,
they came calling.
You should call James Calvert.
Oh, Joey.
It was James Calvert.
Yeah, he's quite the recruiter, man.
I called Calvert and I said, if you decide to come to Idaho Falls, let me know. I'd love to be a part of it.
Yeah,
we'll figure something out. And I think that was October, and by January we
were ready to roll.
A full branch.
Yeah,
we were setting up shelves. It was Bryce and I. Bryce came back.
Yep.
Matt Edwards. So there's just the three of us setting up stuff in Idaho Falls. Talk the paint. What was it? Talk the chrome off a bumper.
Oh man, that guy, he kills me. He's so funny.
So the three of us, yeah, it was awesome. We were literally running to Utah to pick up pipe.
Yeah.
We were doing everything we could. Pocatello was already going.
Yeah. Yep. But they didn't have a ton that you could pull from there.
No, not yet.
But so most of it had to come from Utah.
Yeah. Yep. So we were getting jobs, and we picked probably the worst time in history to open up branches.
I know, for real. Yeah, everything's shut down. Yeah. Every supply chain was shut down. That was rough, man.
But we made it work.
Yeah, it was the worst of times, and it was the best of times. You know, because some of the competitors in that territory, you know, shut down their counters because of the COVID, and we didn't. Yep. And I think that distinguished us from them and allowed us to kind of set ourselves apart a little bit.
For sure.
And then because of that, because of the tightened up supply chains, it made manufacturers look at other distribution partners.
Definitely.
And that fully helped us. So yeah, it sucked because you couldn't get much.
Yeah.
The relationships opened up.
Absolutely.
And then as the supply chains freed up a little bit, then along came the material along with it, but we already had the relationship.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It all worked out just great.
It was a wild time.
It was a wild time, but a fun time.
Yeah.
A lot of fun trying to assemble teams and branches and trucks. And then Burley came on, and the whole Nampa campus, was exploded. So, yeah,
it was
awesome.
Fun.
It was a lot of fun.
So how many people are in Idaho Falls now? Do you know?
So sales guys, there's 6. Total, there's probably
20 or
20.
so?
Yeah. 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yep.
And it started with 2?
It started with 2.5, yeah.
Which is
Edwards
crazy.
was going back and forth.
He was. Yeah, he was kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was fun. I remember riding around with Brandon Johnson trying to find a place.
Yeah.
We couldn't find anywhere.
Yeah.
So we landed in this warehouse that was full of homeless people.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, I fully remember it. Yeah, it was it was full of homeless
literally
people.
like
I was going to say a couple of remarks, but I'll leave those for off air.
motorhomes, tents, all this transient community.
Yeah, it was a tent city.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so
every once in a while, there's still one that sneaks in from the tracks over there too.
Yeah. The one guy lived there forever. He'd plug his cell phone charger
into the wall.
Yeah.
But it was share and share alike.
He actually kept a pretty good eye on our place.
He did. Yeah, he kept all the other riffraff out of there.
He did.
Yeah, he's a good dude. It's like in Salt Lake, they have similar issues around the electrical motor shop.
Sure.
But they have their transient people that keep the other riffraff away. Like, hey, this is our turf. You don't touch that stuff. Yeah, you got to have friends in all sorts of places, high and low.
It's funny. He took pallets and all of our trash.
Yeah,
he took a lot of our trash and built his house.
It's crazy.
Yeah, right by the train.
Right by the tracks.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
say what you want, but he was ingenious, man.
Yeah.
The guy he made a lot out of a little.
Yeah.
You know. Yep. Another man's trash is another man's treasure, right?
Would take my pizza every once in a while.
Yeah. Good dude.
Yeah.
He's not there anymore?
No.
Moved on?
He moved on. I think the railroad company kicked him out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought maybe the cold winters up in IF
man,
kicked him out.
There'd be -20.
And he'd still be out there.
He'd be out there living in his hut.
Tougher than boiled owl, that guy, man.
Yeah.
So if you could tell somebody who's starting at Mountainland today what they should do in order to be successful, what would you tell them?
I think one thing is I think it goes along with anything that you do. Whatever you put into something, you get out.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's a lot of times it does take a little bit of going the extra mile and doing things that are out of your comfort zone and that you probably wouldn't normally do, I guess.
Makes you stretch a little bit.
Make you stretch, yeah. I think some of the greatest things that I've found in not only here at Mountainland throughout my career is also finding a mentor.
Yeah.
And watch what they do. Ask them questions.
Find somebody who cares.
Lean on them, yeah. And vice versa. A mentor should be teaching these young guys that are just starting in the industry. And it's kind of, it sometimes feels like we're the old guys now.
I guess we are, dude.
And so
my kids remind me that often that I am the old guy.
Yeah. But I think, definitely, a lot of times I think an inside sales guy, for instance, if there's an account that we haven't seen in a while, I think it's the outside sales guy's account.
Right.
When really it's all of our accounts and it's all of our business partners. And so it might be uncomfortable to call a guy and say, hey, we haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
We've missed you. What can I help you with? And I don't know. I just think little things like that can go a long ways.
They do.
And people recognize it.
Yeah, they do. I tell my kids and a lot of other people who, give me the time of day and listen to me, if you can do like 3 things in your life, you'll be successful no matter what. If you can have a conversation with somebody and look them in the eye, you're going to be just fine. If you add to that you are dependable, you'll show up on time and you do what you say you're going to do, then you're going to be fine. And number 3, if you outwork the person that's next to you.
Yeah, that's great advice.
You know, and really a place like Mountainland is wonderful because we are a meritocracy. You know, you rise and fall based upon your merit and your output. And I think that's probably what kept me here, you know, as long as I've been here, is that it rewards hard work, you know, and that's our culture, I think, is that, you know, people are rewarded for how hard they work. And if you work just a few more minutes or a little bit harder than the person next to you, then that shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It does show.
Yeah.
One extra phone call, one extra visit. You know, you've been on the sales side.
Yeah.
It's always those ones that seem to.
Yeah. They rise above all others.
Yeah. And I think too, you know, it's easy to wake up in the morning and think, man, this is going to be a sucky day.
Yeah, it is.
So,
yeah.
especially if you
you got to go to the dentist first thing in the morning.
You got to go to the dentist and you got to wait.
Yeah.
But you know, it really, if I think a lot of it's attitude as well.
Totally.
You know, you wake up thinking, man, I'm going to help someone improve their business. I'm going to help
make their business
focus
better
on some of our core values or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that goes a long ways as well.
I think that's part of why I loved sales so much, is because you got to kind of dictate that. You dictated your day a lot. And then as I kind of got moving into management and, you know, doing other things outside of, you know, strictly sales, I realized that exists in every single position.
Yeah.
You know, you really do. You dictate how the day goes. And you dictate whether or not you can help somebody make their day better, whether it's somebody that's, you know, sweeping the floor along with you, or if it's somebody you're directly selling to, you know, you're helping them solve a problem for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you can do that, man, it just makes your life so much better, let alone, you know, making yourself indispensable to somebody else.
For sure.
You know, it just makes your attitude, it made my attitude better.
Yeah.
If I was able to help someone or do something a little bit different.
Yeah.
So that I wasn't just focused on myself.
So true.
Yeah. All right, dude. I appreciate you coming on.
Oh, absolutely.
You got any parting shots you want to yell at somebody?
Yeah.
This is your forum.
Let's see.
They got a long list.
I got, yeah.
All right. So if you guys out there in windshield wiper land, if you see Cody Kemp, make sure you snag him and talk to him for a few minutes, because that is one good human being right there.
Likewise.
So
I appreciate it, and it's been awesome working here. It's been best 4 years of my life.
Well, thanks for making the leap of faith, dude.
Yeah,
it's not easy.
It was definitely worth it.
Good.
So for sure,
we'll keep making it worth it every day. All right, guys. Thank you for listening, taking the time, and we'll see you down the road.